Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Big Man Boisterous coming to you with some minigame madness out of the Shattered Temple. Down here in the bottom, we have iMoDoomerX spawning in as the blue Protoss, and his opponent over here in the left is going to be Ponchomaster spawning in as the red Zerg. As this game starts, we have iMoDoomerX saying, "No worries." No worries about what? I don't. Well, that's confusing. And we have our Zerg player going for a 6 pool, because not only is this a minigame madness, this is a minigame madness out of the Bronze League. So, yeah, 6 pool, why not? Lets you get out a lot of Zerglings really early, especially if you don't send your Overlord to a prime position, such as across the very narrow chasm, so that you can see if there's a Nexus there. And he's also not building any drones at all. Oh, there we go. There are two drones popping down finally. I'm surprised it took him that long. I mean, he had enough minerals to build almost 3 drones when he dropped those 2. It looks like iMoDoomerX is going to get a scout out on this spawning pool, so he's going to know what's up. He's going to force a pull of all the drones, and are they going to see that pylon? I think they did, but that pylon was amazingly effective. It completely cut down Ponchomaster's ability to produce Zerglings early. And we do have a gateway coming out from iMoDoomerX. He saw an early pool, so I would be surprised if he didn't drop some sort of forge to try to block off this little 3-block area, because that's what a lot of people will do if they see a 6 pool. Because I mean, if you block off your gateway, then you're just in such a beautiful position, because you stopped the amazingly early pressure coming out of Zerg with basically barely any losses. So I'd expect to see a forge, and actually he's backing off from the forge, which is a bit of a surprise. He's gonna drop in a spot where there's a gap. I'm not sure how I feel about this, especially if you scout something like a 6 pool, because I'm fairly sure he could have been pretty confident that that was a 6 pool when he saw it, because if you counted, there were only 5 workers out when he saw that pool. So I would expect like a 6 pool, extremely all-in play. But it looks like Zerg, as he didn't scout with this Overlord across the very narrow chasm right here. That is, it takes a bit of time for your Overlord to pass, but he would have an Overlord and he would have seen the base by 3:30. So these Zerglings' damage are completely negated. And yeah, DoomerX did not have to worry about that at all, apparently. If you really want to go for some sort of 6 pool, you need to make sure that you scout and you know where your opponent is, because otherwise your cheese just goes to the wrong base and you end up looking not so smart. We have Ponchomaster not even getting a queen out. Interesting idea. Not specifically the best. I mean, his 12 Zerglings out right now, and he's starting to drop down his gas, and he only has like 10. He's gonna have 10 drones right now. When you have 10 drones mining minerals, you don't want to take 30% of them and put them into gas, because you need that mineral income, not gas income. It looks like our Zerg player is in a pretty bad situation though, as the Protoss is teching up completely unimpeded by that all-in, and that's not a good situation to be in, no matter who you are. You never want to fail a 6 pool like that. It looks like he's going to have 1 drone mining gas, which is just enough drones where it's completely useless. And he's getting a second extractor, even though he's not quite optimally using his first extractor. And all these extra drones are going to be going to that extractor, but I still don't think he needs gas right now. He needs something else, something like something more like minerals, for example. Because unless he's going to go for like a Baneling bust right now, which would I don't think that would be the greatest play, because Baneling busts aren't particularly effective against Zerg unless you're going for some sort of like really hardcore all-in timing push, and you're trying to bust down like their photon cannon wall on Shakuris Plateau, and that's an extremely specific example. I think you could probably do it to a Forge Fast expanding Protoss on a map like this too. I guess it could work possibly if you're trying to bust up this ramp, but one sentry can force field this ramp, and this sentry can lock the ramp down with force fields for long enough for as soon as this warp gate's to finish, he could warp in more sentries and just keep a cycle of force fields on there just with sentry warp ins. it looks like we are going to be seeing some tech out of DoomerX with the robotics facility coming out. And he is going for a 3-gate robo play. He does not look like he's going to be preparing to take an expansion, but he doesn't really need to, considering the fact that his Zerg opponent isn't taking an expansion. And his Zerg opponent is going for a Baneling Nest, and he is getting speed. I still don't know why he has 2 gases up, considering the fact that he's nowhere near fully saturated at this base. Especially this early. I mean, if you're gonna go for like a fast expand and then then at 27 drones you want to start getting gas or somewhere around there. If you want to go for something extremely safe, then you want to get your gas on 11 and mine it with 3 until you can get Zergling speed, and then take all those drones out of it so that you can keep that mineral income up. Because Zerg really needs fast economy early in the game, and the Protoss does have an observer out, and Ponchomaster has no way to detect it. He does have quite a few banelings. I mean, 6 this early, or 7 this early in the game. Sorry. And we have 3 Stalkers, a Zealot, and a Sentry out, and he is getting a Warp Prism. And Warp Prism play against an enemy like this might just be amazing. He sees the 7 banelings. I wonder what he's gonna do about those, because I really don't know. I mean, he knows that these 7 banelings are here. I'm guessing he could probably just fly over there and get a count on the Zergling numbers. He also knows that the layer is not done yet, so that's a pretty good situation for him to be in, where he has this kind of like really strong gateway army, and if he can put force fields in good positions, he can easily overwhelm this purely Zergling force. And it looks like a Zealot's gonna roll in, and oh my god, that was awesome. He just took his Zealot in a Warp Prism and he basically just turned it into something like a Marine Bomb or anything like that, where you just fly over your enemy's forces and then drop down your Zealots so that it just takes up a whole lot of banelings without actually doing any damage to your army, really. 1 Zealot is definitely worth it for taking out 4 banelings, because 1 Zealot is 100 minerals and 4 banelings is 200 minerals and 100 gas. Oh, he actually blew up 5, so it was even more worth it. But, you know, it was pretty amazing. He has an Immortal coming out, and an Immortal Baneling Bomb would be even more effective. And the Banelings are going to go off on that one too. I think he only got 3 with that, but that is still well worth it, because 3 Banelings, again, is 150 minerals and 75 gas, which is pretty amazing. And it looks like the Warp Prism is going to roll out here. And I'd expect to see a Zealot warp in. No, a Stalker warp in. I'm surprised he's not going for like Zealots and Sentries to face off against this army. But this army is pretty small, where this army is small enough to the point where a straight up Stalker, and even with just 1 Sentry, he might be able to pull this off, especially because he has +1. But then again, I'm pretty surprised he didn't go for Zealots, because he does have that +1, and +1 on Zealots is pretty freaking amazing versus Zerglings, because it allows you to 2-shot him. It looks like the Zerg was trying to take a hidden expansion there, rolling down the ramp with his drone, but it does get scouted by the Protoss main army and killed. Where are the force fields? There's 1 force field. He needs like 2 or 3 more. Reasonable force fields. They definitely gave his army a lot better of a chance to survive. Pretty good target firing on the Banelings. And where's that Warp Prism? Why isn't this Warp Prism ferrying in more units? I guess it really doesn't matter, because this entire army is going to go down, and he's making so many Zerglings right now. So I think he's making 20 Zerglings right now. So this army by Protoss is going to get cleaned up. But here comes the Warp Prism with an Immortal, a Sentry, and a Stalker. So this is going to be able to do a fair amount of damage pretty easily, especially if he gets a full warping of like Zealots in. And he is going to be going for 3-4 Zealots, warping in under this Warp Prism, and those Zealots are going to be able to pretty easily clean up these Zergling forces because of their +1 armor, and +1 attack, which again allows them to 2-shot Zerglings, and Zerglings are going to do a whole lot less damage to them. It looks like the Hydralisks are going to spawn in, but this Immortal and this Stalker are going to be able to clean them up fairly easily. It looks like Ponchomaster got supply. Actually, no, he just decided to make Overlords at the end there. And Ponchomaster GG and leaves the game. Huh. DoomerX really wanted to kill his opponent because the replay isn't over yet. How long does this replay go on for after the game is done? Wow, like 20 seconds of just DoomerX killing off his opponent before he finally decides to leave. So anyway, guys, this has been yet another game brought to you by Boisterous. Thank you to iMoDoomerX for sending in this game. If you guys want to check out more Boisterous action, you can look me up at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. And if you guys want your games commentated on, and trust me, I do want to commentate them. I'm still trying to get pretty large user. I'm still trying to get my viewer base to expand a little bit more. So if you guys have any clans or any teams or any friends or any people that you just destroy on the ladders that you want to tell about me, go ahead and point them in my direction. You guys can just link them over to my YouTube channel, again at boisteroussc2 at youtube.com. And if you guys have any games that you want me to commentate on, you can send them on into boisteroussc2 at gmail.com. I will also accept them if you just PM them. If you just PM me links to websites like SC2 Replayed, if you just send those to me on YouTube, I will accept them there also. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous signing out.